showtime, and we are stop spinning. We're not live just yet. It's still spinning, and we are live.
It's
Hey,
we were live.
now
Anyway,
we are. Now we are live. Well, everybody's kind of slowly coming on. My computer's slowly catching up.
oh
So
well,
let's. Oh, here they come. Hello, everybody.
hola.
Hola,
Eh,
hola. Hey,
should I,
roly, 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 chicka
go
boom
ahead?
now.
Should I go ahead and say it?
You can go ahead and say because the numbers are rising.
Welcome to another episode of Sunday Bites and Tidbits. I am Chef Babette and my
And
beautiful co-host Tara Bennett
is
Smith, and
Tara.
we have the most incredible guest today. Oh my
Yes,
goodness!
we do.
I
We do. We do.
friend.
Now,
I just
before we introduce them, let people come in and we got
I
to say
just
hello to our guests.
a little bit about it. Just say
But
something about
wait till
it.
everybody gets on.
Tom is not even on, is he?
Right. There, everybody's just logging in. So give them a second to log in and let's say hello. If
Matt,
Babette,
Jen.
Babette, can you see all the names?
Yeah, I'm saying it. I
Okay,
see.
so let's say hello.
I'm saying. I just said, hey, Jimmy, you have a delay. You don't even
There's
know I'm.
yeah. I don't know you're saying anything. So we're in trouble today.
We
And
are
it's
in.
probably, you know what it is? It's probably because you've come on this way today. And there's a delay because we're both in the site this way.
Well, should I come on my iPad?
Come on your iPad as well, and then see what happens. But you know
Okay.
what? No. I'll just no. Forget it. See, she's gone. This is not going to work this way. Forget it. Forget it.
Go get my iPad.
We're doing like a little pause. Hey, everybody! Wow, the numbers are flying in. So
I
we
know.
have. Let's see. Johanna, hello. Helen, hello. Lucy, Brad, I do Cash App. Who needs bills paid? Message me now. Okay. Message, you wanna pay some bills, Brad? Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my bills? Jimmy Mack. Hey Jimmy, out of Birmingham, Alabama. You back, Jimmy?
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So we have an incredible guest for you today. A really good friend of mine, and I'm so excited to share him with you guys. We're going to wait another couple of minutes, and then we're going to bring him in. Are you sure you don't want me to go get the iPad?
Yeah, let's go get the iPad real quick. But you know what? What, Babette?
Yes.
Can you have your daughter do it while you sit here, so we're not waiting for you to set up?
Here. They left, so I could do the
Okay.
show. All I have
Then
to do is leave the studio, honey, and
yeah,
just
okay, then go get it and bring it back. Sorry, guys. We were trying something new since we're not together today, and we're having this very weird delay. So,
can you just send me the link
yeah,
and
I
then
will.
I'll
I'll
open it up.
send it to you now. So, in the meantime, everyone, I hope you all are doing great. And we're going to gear up to have our guests come up, but we're going to fix this little technical issue so we're not stepping on each other the whole time. Um, and we're very happy to see you as usual. I'm probably frozen because there's two of us in this. And somebody said it's okay. You know, guys, technical stuff. We do the best we can, girl. Please. We are not technical people. And sometimes it will wear you out, like today. But we're going to cover a lot of ground today.
Okay,
But
so
then you know what? Let me send it from my phone because I'm trying to get it on my computer and it's taking too long. So hold on. Next time we know we can't do it this way. We have to. If we're not together, then we have to just do it separate. Tune in Facebook Royal Show.
we'll have to do it separate.
Um, Meaning that we can't do it with both of us logging in.
And I'm teasing you. Lighten up.
I can't hear you, honey. I don't know, and I'm not even looking at the computer right now. I'm trying to get this thing to you.
Okay.
So hold
Okay.
on. I'm trying to get it here. Talk to the audience while I do this, please, so they're not just sitting there while I do this.
Kimatni just sent me a message. He said,
Anyway, sorry guys. We're getting there. We're going to be rolling in a second. Babette, I just sent it to you.
okay, and Kimatni sent me something too. So I'll leave this one.
Uh-huh. Okay. All righty. So she's going to come back in and then we're going to be ready to go. Apologies again. Sharita Lacey, do you already know Chef Babette? Thank you. Believe me, I understand. Good. Thank you. I have kids, so they help out a lot with all this technical stuff that I try not to do often. Babette's back, and I just got to wait for her to log in. I'm still lagging, so I think it's just my internet today. I don't know if it's her or me or whatever. Add to the screen. And here we go. Now talk, Babette.
Hi.
Babette, can you hear me?
Hi. I hear you.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure there's not a lag.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
So I hear you fine. So let's introduce our guest and bring him in. Go ahead, Babette.
This is an incredible spirit. His name is Kimatni Rawlins, and he's a very dear friend. But more than that, this brother is so on point in so many different areas. I met him on Facebook years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And I keep up with everything that he's doing. But I'm gonna let him tell you about himself, because this brother's got his hands in a whole bunch of stuff, and he's so awesome for our planet, really and truly. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend, Kimatni Rawlins. Tara, how come I keep just seeing you?
No, because I'm moving everything over. I'm putting him in the middle so
Hey, lady.
that he is bigger than me.
Well,
hey, Kimatni.
Namaste. How's everybody tonight?
Oh, wonderful.
We're going to be better in a second. As soon as I get you over here, this is going to be really good. I'm trying to.
This is why we do this early, Kimatni.
Ladies first, you can take center stage, Tara.
I don't want to be center stage. I want people to see your face. They don't need to look at me. Look at me for what? Okay, you know what? Okay, that's not working out. Oh, there we go.
That's right. We're good.
Yes, I'm good.
Yes. So
tell us. Come on, talk, Kimatni. Tell us about yourself. Tell everyone about you.
Who you are, how you got started.
Absolutely.
Your story up to the current day. We ain't got but an hour though.
First and foremost, thanks for having me. It's always an honor when you're invited to be a guest of someone's show. It shows, appreciation and respect. And it also highlights, what we're doing in our community, which we don't do enough for one another in comparison to other ethnicity and races. So we have to continue to lift each other up as a people, inspire one another and, not degrade on our weaknesses and build one another up. So, I feel good that I'm in a position to educate and have a media platform to reach the masses because, from, a chronic disease standpoint, African Americans need as much and as many resources as possible and as often as possible, to help us break these generational curses, cycles that keep pitting us in the same dispositions, generation after generation. Heart disease, heart attacks, diabetes, hypertension, these things that hit us at early ages, and we blame on our our DNA. Well, my family had it, so I'm gonna get it. Nah, that's not correct. Only 3% of chronic diseases are hereditary, so we need to break that cycle for once, and that objective that.
And can you tell us what those you said 3%? Give us an idea of what some of those 3% are for people who don't know. So they're not saying, because somebody could say, yeah, and in that 3% is diabetes. That is hereditary. So let's break it. Right, exactly. But let's share some of those things.
Yeah, I mean, some of those are like rare cancers, like melanoma or something like that. But the majority of chronic disease, if someone said that, their grandfather had heart disease, then that's definitely not hereditary. Type 2 diabetes is definitely not hereditary. That's eating too much sugar and too much extra fat that turns into sugar that you don't burn off because we're too lethargic as a community as well. Hypertension is not hereditary. That's eating too much sodium, without drinking enough water, without sweating enough, without burning it off. So um, I feel good that I'm at this point in my life. It wasn't always this way. You know, I grew up in the hood, Camden, New Jersey. Um,
Ooh,
with
Camden.
Cam,
Camden?
Cam,
Woo.
Brick City. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Campbell Soup, and we didn't have many resources. There was no shopping, no malls, no community parks, no outlets of energy for the kids. There was drugs and a lot of other negative habits taking place in Camden, and you really didn't get out. So if you did make it out, you salute one another. When I meet somebody from Camden, when I'm out and about in the world, they're a lifelong brother or sister, because people from Camden typically don't leave.
Wow.
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, look it up. And thankfully,
Wow.
who I am today, what I've become, is all a manifestation of my father, who's also from Camden. And he actually left, went to Vietnam War, got really sick. And after that, he turned vegetarian in the late 70s, when
Wow.
vegetarian was actually vegan, but it was still called vegetarian. So when I would go visit him, he moved to DC. I was probably the only kid on the block eating chia seeds and and dates.
Wow. It's hard.
I mean, he shut it down early, and the fact that he was a veteran, he was very militant about it. Like we couldn't open the fridge after 7 p.m. or we got whooped.
Wow.
But he instilled us with the intuition, the resources, the character needed. So when I would finally go plant-based, my mindset would recall some of those habits, and then became so natural. It wasn't as difficult for me as it would be other people. So they used to make steak out of gluten back in the day.
Back in the day.
You watch them just kneading the gluten, and it's like taking hours and stuff, and then you sit down and eat it. And now, like when I have something that's gluten based, I'm like, it takes me back to those very days,
Right.
where everything was made from scratch, not in the box with 50 ingredients, which is not food.
Wow. I love
This is interesting. This is interesting. Not to hop on, but we talk about our communities and how challenging it is. And this person who says she's 20 minutes from Camden and there's still no supermarkets
That's
in
ridiculous.
Camden now. So
Yeah.
how do and how do you, or how do we, change our diets if there's no examples, of how to do that, and then there's no places to go to get anything to service you?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's where we have to do the research, and the onus is really on us. We can't use excuses at the local convenience store or liquor store, which you would get most of your sustenance from, your bread, your crackers, your milk.
Wow. I can't even imagine that.
And we got to break out of that. There are neighboring neighborhoods outside of Camden, like Mount Laurel, Cherry Hill, Collinswood, where we can venture out and hit a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. But we got to understand that we should not allow ourselves to be trapped, within those, those bricks and those numbers or those streets. So it is unfortunate, because, Murray Steaks, which you'll get all your super, super cheap frozen meat from. I don't even know if it's meat. I don't even know what it was, but that's what we grew up on. That's what we grew up on. It'd be like a cheesesteak was a frozen slab of something, and you cook it up and put it on bread and onions, and that was a cheesesteak. But yeah, we have to start doing the research for ourselves because it's at our disposal now. We can't really use excuses.
No, we can't.
Well, let me ask you this, and then I want to go back to how, we kind of got how you got started, but, a little more about your journey. But let me ask you this. Okay, you were fortunate, if you said, to have an uncle, right?
My dad, actually.
Your dad. Okay. So you were fortunate enough to have that. But when you don't have anything and everything around you is just an example of what not to do, and then it's not just about changing your diet, it's also about changing your mindset. And if everything around you doesn't give you any opportunity to do that, every now and then that one child or that one person seems to stumble upon something or learn something, or have a teacher, someone who inspires them to look in a different direction. But when everyone around you is looking right, and then you're trying to get these people to look left here, over here, but there's nothing else there, how do we do that? Like, what would be your suggestion?
Well, my dad didn't have that, and he broke out of the cycle to be able to pass it down to me. So we have to become our own nutritional outliers. And now that everything is open to social media and the web, we got to start focusing on, lifestyle references that enhance our life opposed to prohibit it. The fact with us is that most times we celebrate, things that, aren't enhancing. We
Mm-hmm.
celebrate music, we celebrate fashion, we celebrate cars. We just celebrate everything that's not going to allow us to live to 100 years old. Which is very possible, as we see from the Japanese Okinawans who have the longest lived people in the world. And their staple diet is the Okinawan sweet potato, which has a lot of antioxidants and is claimed to help prevent Alzheimer's, because of the colorful antioxidants in that particular sweet potato. And those are the ones that are purple, not your typical orange sweet potato. So if we start celebrating the fact that we're strong, we're resilient, and we start eating foods that can bless our physiques, then we'll start, claiming that back like our ancestors did. But right now, people don't equate chronic disease or early death to food
No,
And
because
they
that's
don't. Still.
unfortunate.
to develop. So if chronic disease was like COVID, where you can die within 3 weeks if it affects your immune system, your
Mm-hmm.
respiratory is bad enough. If you ate a couple steaks and then like 2 weeks later, the doc was like, "Yo, you have stage 4 prostate cancer, dude, from those steaks," then it'll be a wrap. We wouldn't be
It'd
eating
be a wrap.
anymore.
Right, right,
But
right.
after 5, 10 years, when you finally get that diagnosis, if you ever do, because that's another thing, African Americans don't like going in and get their checkups. And when we get checkups, we don't get blood work to let us know if we have high A1C or about to be pre-diabetic. So we have to start changing the narrative for ourselves. And as individuals like, Chef Babette and her platform, which is allows people to understand it because it's not so academia, it's not so medical in terms. Because when we start
Mm-hmm.
hearing those phrases, we like, what?
What?
Mm-hmm.
But I use myself as a barometer where I can understand the medical terms. My mom's a nurse, and sometimes we'll sit down and have conversations, and she's like, "Son, how do you understand this? You didn't go to medical school." But I opened up my mind. I did the research. I studied. I've taken nutritional plant-based classes. I've interviewed plant-based doctors and physicians. I'm a journalist and publisher by trade, so that's what I do. Um, and when everyone is saying the same thing, it's not difficult to make the change. Um, I played football at Georgia Tech, and they treated us like factory animals. It's just like supplements, day in and out. Round the athletes come in and then they gone. They don't really care. You buff up 40, 50 pounds, and then you off on your own. And then you're like, what am I supposed to do with all of this? Because they don't break down nutrition in college, as they don't break down nutrition and doctor's degrees in medical schools.
They don't.
Only 15% actually study nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
as part of healing. So we have to look elsewhere. We have to look to the nutritional outliers, like I said, but they're omnipresent now. There's so many of us. So you really can't avoid us unless you're just one of those that's like, whatever, I'm gonna eat my meat.
Fighting it. Yeah.
You're not gonna tell me what to
Right.
eat. And sadly, it's black men that really don't listen to anybody. So it's really difficult when I started with fathers to reach black men because they like, who this cat? Telling me like to eat this, eat this, and eat this. They're like, F you, dude. But I'm like, yo, arm wrestle me. Let me see who wins. By the way, I'm still undefeated in arm wrestling against meat eaters. So any challenges
Oh
out there,
wow, really? You
I'll
arm
let them
wrestle
know.
meaty?
I will take a meathead out in a second, dude. Don't let the plant-based fool you. You know what I mean? But we have to break that premise. And the resources are there. And we just got to not contain ourselves like we typically do.
So let me ask you this: when you go out and you speak, do you speak primarily to African Americans, or do you speak to people in general?
I
And
speak
then I
to
have a
Yeah, I speak to people in general because that's, like I said, I'm a publisher, I'm a writer, I'm a journalist, I'm a poet, so when you open yourself up, um, then your
so
audience is very massive or very vast. But the fact that, I am from the inner city, I've always hung around my culture. That's where the majority, of the initiation begins with my people.
well, and my question was because the resistance. I know you were talking about the resistance of, especially an African American male. Do you find that same resistance in other men in general, or when it comes to, hey, eat this, eat this, eat this, and then throwing up a finger, or are they a little more open, or are they open usually because they have some type of ailment? Now they're trying to figure out how to fix it.
No, sadly, the reason everyone else is pretty open. I've actually had more success.
Really?
I actually had more success converting white males and white females than I do anyone else. And they're the ones that also follow up too. So if I have a 8-week program for them, they're like boom, 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 boom. Where and I just hate to say it, what I mean? I may have to like multiple reminders because people know me. Like I will find you, I will text you, I will inbox you on Facebook, on Instagram. Like you're not going to ignore me. You have to tell me no. And once you tell me no, then I'm off your back. But if you don't say anything, and you know what I'm saying, you like mum's the word, I'm gonna get at you. But I try to use other convincing methods, whether it's books. For example, I just participated in Brother Vegan, which is a spinoff of Sister Vegan. It was widely successful, which covered an array of Black male vegans and their path to veganism, and what they did in their journey to influence other individuals. So I don't just leave it up to myself. I partner with other individuals and other networks and outliers and influencers as well, so we can share one another's messaging. And then within Fit Fathers, we do the same thing. Like before, I interviewed Chef Babette. If you go to fitfathers.com, I have a whole profile on her
So
and her
talk,
restaurant.
talk about Fit Fathers. Let's talk a bit about that. Like, break it down for us.
So, like I said, at 35, I kind of lost my way. I was wilding out too much, drinking Long Island still. That was my drink in college. I can have 5 of those suckers a night. But my metabolism was slowing down. I was gaining the weight, gained 50 pounds. The muscle was, turning into adipose fat. I wasn't burning it off enough because I was still a gym rat, not really focused on cardio. And instead of using excuses, I was like, that's it. And I'm one of those individuals there's really no in between. Um, it's either all or nothing. So my
Hmm.
pendulum swing is like very, very swift, very harsh. So, you won't see me moderating anything. If I say I'm gonna go vegan, I'm gonna go vegan. If
Got it.
I'm doing a 7-day or a 30-day fast, I'm doing a 30-day fast. And I was like, all right, I'm going to make a change in my life. And the thing about lifestyle changes is that we put a future date on it. So we say, you know what? Today is the 6th.
Hmm.
On the 21st, I'm going to do a 6-week, fruit and juice fast or whatever. Yet by the time the 26th get there, the mind is so powerful. It's like, nah, like we on to something else now. Like we done past that.
So
You
true.
don't really have the same authority and strength and will that you did on day one. So I say when a thought is manifested, enact it immediately. The next day,
Oh,
go get your fruits and your veggies and like start it right then and there. Because you don't have to put a date on it. And that's why New Year's Eve resolutions
Don't
never,
know. They work past New Year's Eve.
yeah. I mean, so so at 35, I made the change. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do something real drastic. I'm gonna run a marathon and I'm gonna do it on a plant-based diet because when I was studying how to run a marathon, I kept coming across all these vegan marathon runners. And I was like, damn, what? It was just so foreign to me that the body could be fueled for that long on plant-based eating. So I just started, doing the research, and then I wound up taking a plant-based course with E. Colin Campbell,
Oh,
nutrition studies, and passed that and learned a lot of information. And then when I started interviewing, other individuals, they would be saying the same thing. What's our boy from Houston?
yeah, Dr. Montgomery.
Montgomery, like I spoke with him and he was saying the same exact thing. And I'm like, damn, okay. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. Signed up for a marathon, completed it in like 5.5 hours, and it was a wrap. I was
You
vegan.
completed it.
Yeah, completed it. It was
26 miles?
26.3. Yeah, it was challenging. That was,
Wow.
but I did it. And to me, I was like, you can do anything in the world. It's like all of those, those positive affirmations that you see coming across your IG. It's true if you engage in it. And I didn't turn back. And then, like I said, I'm a poet, so I was trying to think of a name to come up with the brand. And I just had a dream one day, and Fit Fathers just presented itself, and
I
immediately
love it.
trademarked it and did all the intellectual properties, because that's another thing we need to do as a people too.
And we don't do.
We are so creative. We set trends. Everyone, is following the lead. On TikTok, all the white TikTokers are taking the black TikTokers dance moves and getting all the notoriety for it. So, we have to trademark, copyright. We have to do all the intellectual properties.
Ugh.
Start our LLCs, because, like Nas said, no idea is original. You'd be amazed if you go to USPTO.org and you put in a name that you came up with 5 years ago, but you ain't trademarked it. Somebody just trademarked it a year ago, and you like, damn it. So that's another thing. I'm a mentor, so I mentor a lot of young Black men in high school and college. That's one of the first things I teach them is how to trademark their ideas and their names and the businesses that they want to start. And started Fit Fathers. I built the website and started writing the content, because we know that Google likes new, fresh content daily. So our website is editorially based. You'll find a lot of stories on like travel, fitness, veganism around the world. I'm a nomad, so I travel to every, indigenous places like Vietnam, Cambodia, Ethiopia. Like I'm seeking, what is naturalistic and, what our spirit is in tune to. And it's not cars, fashion, sneaks, Jordans. It's none of that. It's deep spirit, it's energy rising up the chakras. It's, reggae music that inspires nations. And I journey out, that's what my heart bleeds, so, within that realm, I'm talking to individuals, whether it's Rastas, up in Kingston, up in the hills, or Sharmans in India. I'm speaking with them and I'm engaging with them. And it's all the same information. It's all broken down, to spiritualism, yoga, enlightening energy, and eating sustenance and foods that nourish, foods with fiber, one ingredient foods with no labels, foods that grow from trees, seeds, and roots. And that.
Say that again. One ingredient foods.
One ingredient foods.
One ingredient foods. Jeez,
yeah. Opposed to foods that are born, So, we got to get away from that. We can build protein from, protein is in that macronutrient is in all foods. So if you eat a bowl of kale, you got some protein.
Got protein.
Have to count. Your body will assimilate the amino acids throughout the day and complete those proteins so you can continue to grow muscle. Like Chef over there, I see her flexing. You know what I mean? We had to come out there and do a push-up challenge with you.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
Yeah.
So Kimatni, so you have children?
2 girls, yes.
2 girls. And they grew up in this, or did you have them before you made the shift?
Yeah, so they started off eating, carnivorous like I did. But when I made the shift at 35, whatever age they were, I think they were like 4 and 7, they converted to veganism. And It was
And how was that? Like, what was that like for you? For parents out there who are saying, "I can't get my kids to make this shift," and they're
And what
cooking,
about
still
your
cooking
spouse?
3 meals, and your
Your
spouse,
wife?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
yes. So my spouse is half Japanese, so we always had unique foods in the house, like bok
Mhm.
choy, soba noodles, things, kimchi, so
Mhm.
the kids acquired a unique taste bud at an early age. And we
Hmm.
would travel to Japan every 2 years. So, um, it wasn't that challenging, but we did do it in steps. We was like, all right, this month you have to pick a meat to get rid of. Um,
Oh, really?
Oh, you did it in steps.
well, we didn't have beef or pork in the house, but we'd be like, all right, you got to get rid of chicken this month or turkey this month or fish this month. So we kind of eased them off it in about 4 months. And then we threw everything else out and the household was totally vegan. So
And your wife was along with that because I know
yeah.
Japanese, they do a lot of fish and even a lot of chicken. Was that challenging for her?
Well, the fish was challenging for her. That was her thing, but she jumped on board a month after I did, and very supportive. And I say it was very helpful because I do talk to
That
couples
is.
where one of them is like, my man will not eat vegan no matter what. So I got to cook 2 meals.
Yeah,
Right.
that's crazy.
I really feel bad for those
I do
individuals
too.
because they really want to try. Or it could be vice versa. I know a lot of dudes that want to go plant-based, and he's like, nah, my girl's from DR, dude. She is not going plant-based, and she does all the cooking. And I'd be like, well, you got to break out of that. You got to cook your own food then,
Hmm.
You can't leave your life expectancy up to your spouse because
Whoa.
black men already have a lower life existence
Yes.
anyway,
Yeah.
in comparison
Yep.
to the general population. So I'm definitely not leaving, my future up to no other human. I don't
Believe
care what the
that.
situation is. Like if I wasn't married, if I wasn't married and I was vegan and I was like, out dating, I'm sorry, but I could only date a vegan. Like, you know what I mean? I I, I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. You got to eat
And
pure.
for what reason? Because of where they are mentally
I
and
mean, if
spiritually.
you're willing to change, let's get there. But I mean, if there's just resistance, like this, then it's not natural energy for me. I have to be around things that continue to elevate and enhance. Because I'm not at the peak of my journey. I'm still learning. I'm still aspiring, and I need others to help me do it. So one of the challenges is, what happens when someone that influences needs their own influence. Like
Hmm.
Wow.
there's days when I feel like, I didn't hit a roadblock and I need someone to pick me up. But I done picked so many other people up that I'm mentally drained.
And
You know,
sometimes you don't even know where to go because when you pick people up, when you call them to be picked up, it's awkward for them. It's a very uncomfortable place when they become the picker upper.
right?
They because they expect you to always be up.
Yeah,
So fall, needing that place to lie or to fall onto for somebody to catch you, when you are that person can be a little challenging sometimes.
yeah. Yeah, so the kids, one of them is a supreme athlete. She's 15, she's vegan. She's super strong, muscles everywhere. She's like plug and play. You can put her on a volleyball field, basketball court, and she's dominating. She tosses little boys around. Like it's funny. It's really funny. Her strength is unbelievable. And it feels good knowing that, I help precipitate that. And
Hmm.
whether she decides to eat meat in college or sticks to veganism or plant-based eating or ital is vital, whatever moniker you want to call it, I know that she has the roots, she has the foundation to always bring it back. Just like I had the foundation when my dad introduced us to vegetarianism, when we were, adolescents.
Beautiful.
So what is now I know you are a fitness person as well.
Hmm.
Is that incorporated in what you is the physical aspect and the workshops center around both physicality and mental, like getting people's minds and empowering from that perspective, or is it always led through food?
No, it's all three. That's the perfect equation. So, mentally, spiritually, you have to hone in the inputs that are needed to make this major change, because the mind is so powerful that literally you're trying to erase you know 30, 40, 50 years of daily experience. So
Mhm.
what I try to do is replace each day, each negative day with a positive day,
Positive, right.
replace that memory, so it's never recalled again. And that takes a lot of repetition, a lot of practice. And that's why you have to continue to be around other individuals that is aspiring, to break the nutritional curse. So if they're not complete vegan, that's fine. If they eat a lot of plants in general, a lot of nuts and seed, that's cool. But if they present something else like, spiritual intuition, or they're deeply rooted into, like, reading and bringing back recalling memories from the past of where we came from, and the strength that we had as slaves, and
Mm.
that we ate as slaves that allowed us to become strong. you know we wasn't at the table eating the steak, eating the saturated fat, but we still developed and was super strong, and spiritually resilient. So someone to lean on, that's in your circumference, that continue to help you make this positive journey. So the spirit first to say, hey, we're about to prepare on a journey, and I need you with me. Because if you just blindly walk into a situation and say, all right, tomorrow I'm going vegan, no
Mm.
mental preparation, no spiritual preparation, it's not going to last long.
Right.
First barbecue you go to, you like, give me one
Yeah.
of the wings. um, then it's the nutrition. You know,
Hmm.
we eat too many calories. Our stomach is only the size of our palm.
We eat way too much.
We eat too many calories. So
Hmm.
our stomach stretches out. We eat too fast, so we don't give the brain enough time for the signals from the stomach or the digestives to say, hey, we're satiated. Uh,
Right.
That's why, like in Europe, they have these long-winded dinners where they actually put down their utensils, in between their dishes and speak and talk, so they can, know if they're like, what, I'm actually good. I don't need course 3, 4, 5. But in this society, everything is so super technical and fast. They reprogrammed us to think that you have to eat fast and you have to eat on the go.
Because I know I do, and I work on that because that's just my body is so conditioned. Luckily, I don't eat hardly anything, but when I do, I eat my good meal and then I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm usually done for the day because I eat fast. Because I'm conditioned that way, and I'm really working on how to slow down and savor
Yeah.
the moment and enjoy the food before I fall asleep, because that's usually what happens to me. But no, I totally understand that.
I
And
love.
I think the best thing that you said was that we definitely overeat. I mean, so for some reason, we were taught 3 meals a day with these
Hmm.
massive plates of food, and we're eating every species diet on one plate. And we're bloated and we're lethargic, and it's just really way, way, way more than we need. So
Can,
much more.
can I answer Jacqueline Glass's question?
Yes. How much should we eat and how often? What time should we eat? Stop eating.
Yeah.
That's
So
such a good question.
there's different, strategies for that. So for me, I don't really need a big breakfast. My thinking is that in the morning, I would like to burn off the extra glucose in my body from the day before. So I use that, because the body converts food to glucose. It enters the cells, and that's our energy. It wants to convert carbohydrates to glucose first. Um, Complex carbs over simple carbs. So that's like your sweet potatoes, opposed to crackers or cereals. Then it'll convert fat. The last thing it wants to do is convert protein. So if it's not converted, it'll turn into fat. So I want to burn that off first. So I will either just drink water, in the morning. But if I'm gonna have a heavy workout, I just eat fruit, water, a banana, definitely berries, because berries have all types of antioxidants in them, to build the immune systems, to fight off free radicals that are attacking us from all angles. If you cook meat, you're battling free radicals. When you burn oil, you're fighting free radicals. When you go to the gas station and pump gas, you're taking in, carbonation and fighting off free radicals. So we have to build up their immune system. So, berries are, that foundation fruit. But for lunch, um, they always say it should be your biggest meal, but no meal should be really big. Like I said, the size of your palm. So make sure, lunch and dinner incorporates the plants, because we should be taking in 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, because that's where we're getting our fiber from. Only 3% of Americans meet the RDA for fiber. So people are literally backed up. And when you're backed up, it turns toxic and it starts
Yep.
leaking. And what likes toxic environments? Cancer. So if
Cancer.
you want cancer in your body, or if you want to reduce the amount of cancerous attacks, you need an alkaline, state of mind, an alkaline body. So that's drinking more waters, more fruits, apple cider vinegar, things of that nature. And then dinner, you want to keep dinner the lightest meal of the day, because you're about to go to sleep, so you don't want to wake up with all this food in your stomach. So 6, 7 p.m., no later than that, really keep it light. Definitely a salad, definitely some greens, whole grains, quinoa, millet, brown rice, nothing white, because white turns to sugar really quick. Um, you know, Various noodles like soba noodles, buckwheat noodles, those are whole grains. Um, Millet is my grain of choice. I love millet. It's a food that my dad introduced me as a youth, so but not too much food, because I think males supposed to eat about 2,200 calories a day. I think about 800 for females. So if you go out to a restaurant, your average meal is going to be like 900 calories if you go to like a Fridays or something. So you definitely want to start learning how many calories is in certain foods. Like a banana is 80 calories, for example. So it will add up. And if you don't burn it off, then it turns into fat. So we take in more food than we burn off, because most people aren't working out.
Well, aren't moving around. Well, great. Thank you for that. Lucy Brenton. I'm a total newbie and trying to transition my family to a plant-based diet. Where should I start that won't overwhelm me and lead to failure?
Uh, the part of reprogramming your mind. So start reading some books. Start watching.
Knowledge is power.
Yep. Start reading some books. Start watching some documentaries. Food Inc.
Yes.
Forks Over Knives, and you'll start seeing these stories and you'll start rethinking things.
Yeah,
Um,
and I want to add to that, having, and I know you're the same, having children. And one of the things that helped a lot is empowering them, because a lot of people, I don't want my kids to see what they do to animals, and I don't want my kids to this and that. But when you empower them to understand, it's almost like you're giving them the opportunity to make a choice. Kids are very different when they're allowed to make a choice than when they feel like we're making the choice for them. It's like when I shared this before, when I would take my kids over to the farmer's market. And I have one son who was always very picky, and I would try to make something for him. He goes, I don't like that. He couldn't even say like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I took them to the farmer's market, and I said, okay, we're going to play Top Chef today. So everybody's going to pick out a dish. And I told him to pick a recipe, and I gave him the same exact recipe that I made that he didn't like. And I said, okay, you're going to make this. And he goes, okay. So he picked out everything, all the vegetables, and he cooked it up, and he sat there and ate. Oh, this is the best thing, because he felt in control of his life. So I think part of it is when we allow them to have share in the experience and not just dictate to them what they're going to do. Like you were telling your kids, hey, this week we're going to drop this. This week we're going to drop that, as opposed to we're dropping meat this week.
Yeah.
Allow them to be a part of it. And I think that makes it an easier road, because then they support you and you're not trying to drag them along to something. And then really understanding the benefits of why this is healthier for you, because look at me and look at such and such. I look this way because I take care of myself. That's how you look when you don't. Or this is what happens when you don't. And you can make a choice to go either way you want to go. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, when I showed my daughter a documentary that showed the lifespan of a male chicken, which is like seconds, she was appalled, and she vowed to never eat chicken again, because they they cut them up as soon as they're born. They send them to the shredder. So it's pretty horrible what they do to animals. But that's a whole different discussion. But to get to your question, I would look into Meatless Mondays. There's an array of recipes and start making some of your traditional meals, but vegan based. So do that once a month, Lucy. See how the family reacts to it. Whether it's a pasta dish, for example, you can make spaghetti and replace the meat with chickpeas, and once they're cooked, it gives you that same texture as if it was like little meatballs. So start replacing your traditional food with plant-based options. And there's an array of recipes there. And we also have an array of recipes on fitfathers.com. For example, on Super Bowl one year, I made a batch of cauliflower wings.
I remember that.
To my boys' crib. Literally everyone ate the cauliflower wings, the meat eaters, and they didn't eat the meat wings. So I'm like, yo, like that's me and my family's food, might have a piece here and there. They killed it. They killed it. So to this day, I get so many requests. Yo, son, send me a cauliflower recipe again. And people are just amazed that, some of these recipes that's available that are just plant-based and still can give you that satisfaction.
Yes.
Because, as John Sally said when I was interviewing him once, it's probably not even the meat, it's the seasoning, that people are accustomed to. So
and
it's the experience.
No, they're accustomed to the fat, the texture.
And sometimes it's the experience too, the crunchiness of something. It's like when you eat fried fish, you like that crunchiness. You like to bite into the batter and all that stuff. And it's very rarely, because if you don't put the seasoning on the meat, nobody's going to eat a steak that's not seasoned.
Yeah.
There's nothing to that. You can flip it, what they say, slap it, flip it, rub it down, whatever you need to do. You don't put any seasoning on it, it's not going to be good. And even some sushi, you don't eat the sushi without the soy sauce because it's just this tasteless thing. So, what are you really enjoying? You're enjoying an experience, you're enjoying a texture, you're enjoying and what you're really enjoying is the seasoning without it. So put the same seasoning on something else. We have another question here, and then we're going to get back to you. This is a biggie one. It's taking 20 minutes to load up on my very slow computer. Okay, I just had to do that to get that out of my system.
I see it. Yeah, so Erica, ironically, I just did I continue to go deeper and deeper. So I just did a self-inflicted fruit and veggie fast this past week for 7 days. I wanted to just lose a few more pounds because I was enjoying too many, vegan foods as I was traveling. And I was jumping on the scale too every day, like, damn, I only lost a pound. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to, I'm going to wait a week because, the body fluctuates throughout the day. Water weight takes precedence. And, we can definitely get too infatuated with, the weight loss category. So I would say don't jump on a scale daily at all. I would say weekly at the end of the week. But just make sure throughout that week, as you're progressing through each day, when you're eating something, ask yourself, is this food, going to help my goal? Or is it going to enhance my goal, or is it going to decrease my goal? And that may be helpful. And if you decide to eat that option, for example, some people think because it's a vegan cookie that is healthy, things still got 500 calories in it. You know what I mean? So don't let the vegan label for you, because there's a lot of unhealthy vegan foods.
You can buy vegan marshmallows now.
You can?
Really? Because I miss marshmallows.
So don't trip. But to add to that, I never weigh. I don't weigh anymore.
I don't weigh myself either.
I don't have a scale. I don't have a scale anymore. I hopped on a scale, but it's not something that I do every single day and I'm obsessed with. What I do is pay attention to how I feel. I pay attention to how my clothes fit. I pay attention to whether or not my legs rub together.
Yeah, you.
I do.
But I do the same thing.
Touching in the middle.
That's crucial.
I think we all have that same experience. When I'm not a scaler either. I have what I call out of shape pants.
Thank
And
you.
if I put them on and they don't fit like that, that little thing and right in here in the leg, I'm going, okay, get all that off, take all that off. So I don't get on scales because scales is what? 1 week you're this, next week you're that, you lose your mind.
Exactly.
Put on your out of shape pants, you're out of shape. That's it.
And then sometimes it can be kind of weird, Kimatni. You've been in that gym. You notice how you can look super uh, thin. I don't know if thin is the right word, but
And
at
the
the same
scale
time,
doesn't
you weigh
reflect it.
more.
And the
You
scale
weigh
doesn't
more.
reflect it. Yep. That's the
Right,
word.
muscle. It's like you're building the muscle, and the weight is there, but your body is slimmer.
Yep.
Right. No, I've
Yep.
been down that road too. That's depressing. You do all this work and you're like, no, I know I feel this.
But
But what about
actually, I don't care because as long as I look a certain way and my clothes fit me a certain way, I don't get tripped out about those numbers because I know that probably I've just built more muscle. And
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so I'm not gonna trip on that as long as I'm looking like I'm and then them legs ain't touching in the middle. That's very serious.
Karita says, I call the scale my devil because it likes to control my emotions. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you know what? But there's another thing, Kamatni, too. A lot of, and this just recently happened to my friend, a male guy. When you look at him, very fit, like bam, 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 but had so much internal stuff going on that was wrong,
Diseases.
that it's almost sad that, this external package, which is what when you talk about physical external, then there's also mental external because we have these packages that look so wonderful, but inside it's so much muckiness going on that
Oh my gosh. Yes.
and so this friend of mine, turns out that he had some kind of tumors going on. He had no clue,
Yeah.
until something else. But his diet, obviously, he's not a vegan, but he's got body, and you just go, how do you how do you get to somebody like that and say this is not going to change even after the operation if you can continue to do what you do?
Yeah, that's challenging because there's so many supplements on the market. There's so many processed foods on the market that, say that they can enhance, muscle development, physicality, and people buy into it. And I've been approached, Fit Father's been approached numerous times by some of these companies to help promote them. And I'm like, nah, because everything I take in is just natural. I don't believe in, supplementing anything, because you can all get it from the root. And, like I said, if you want to develop muscle, muscle is developed through either lifting, either hormones or genetics, so,
Mhm.
um, and, I don't play with humanity and the powers that be from the most high, but individuals like that, they aren't drinking enough water. You hear a lot of times about, these super wrestlers that had heart attacks at like 49, because they're taking in all these hormones, all these supplements.
Wow.
They're not drinking water. They're not eating, fiber-based foods, and it's just an implosion takes place internally. Tumors everywhere. It's just a nesting ground, for cancerous opportunities. And it's really hard to get to those individuals because they see the results and they love the results, and
Yes.
they don't really
Well, the
need.
package is pretty.
The package is real pretty,
Yeah, it is.
it
And it's
even,
shocking when they lose their lives over that and you're looking at them going, wow, he looked like, a picture of health and
yeah,
I
so
go ahead, Kenmati.
no, I just kind of, I just break it down to the premise, so some will get it and some won't. And you can't fight those that don't want to get it. You have to move on to individuals that are waiting in line, asking for help, needing help. Like some of your commenters right here, they're seeking the knowledge. Those are the ones that you have to tend to first. Because the other ones right now, they're on their own pathway and they have to learn through experience. There's nothing you can do to change their mind state.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think
unfortunate because so much is happening on the planet and humans are so selfish. Everything that's going on the planet, it's so much. I don't know. It has to do with our behavior, and there's a massive selfishness to humans that really annoy me, because we really only think about us. We don't we don't think about anybody else, anything else. Our planet is burning up, and there's so much that even the foods that we consume directly cause a lot of the issues that we're dealing with today. And when you're in Seattle, it's 135 degrees, you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Well, there's so much we could do collectively to maybe stop some of this. But we're not a collective. We're all
Well,
over the place.
we are an I me. To me, my opinion is most of us are I me, and that could be I me in our small little community of family, our small. But until the I me becomes bigger, and bigger than just how does this service me, um, then I think we will branch out to look at other things differently. I also believe that we don't even treat ourselves well.
Thank
We
you.
don't even treat our we curse the things that come out of our mouth to people that we love,
We
supposedly
don't
love.
love we don't love our individual selves. So if you
Well,
don't
some of
love
yeah,
you,
right,
you're
right.
challenged loving anything outside of you.
Well, and that's
Even though
where
you claim you love Jesus, but serious, you ain't got no love for yourself. So I don't even know if you know what love is.
well, unfortunately, but anyway, with that, let's answer this question. We're almost down to our time, but I want to get you a chance to finish up
This interview has
talking
been,
about you.
this
What do
discussion
you
has been great.
what do you think of creatine HCI?
Yeah, you answer that.
I mean, was creatine HCI around when humans were evolved, developed? No. We didn't need it to engage in anything that the body needs to do, which is far more enhanced than any technical device, whether it's a car or any other machine. I think creatine helps speed up muscle development and speed up the metabolism. Well, if you energize the mitochondria in your cells, which are energy cells, the more you work out, the more you tap into your energy, the more those mitochondria become energized and help burn off more calories, help speed up the metabolism. So it's just a simple formula in the body. You know what I'm saying? You have to activate the body, which activate the mitochondria, puts more energy, into your metabolism. So we don't need any external anything. It's all internal. We just got to start from up here.
Yeah. And this kind of actually answers this question that's coming up the 20 minutes later on my crazy behind computer. I'm still on my old computer because I got a new one. If I turn that on, we never have a show. Um, how do you help an obese friend you love dearly move towards a healthier vegan lifestyle? I share my healthy journey with her and she dismisses it. It's kind of,
Oh, we get that all the time.
yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of hard. I mean, what would you do since you go around speaking to people? Is there any advice you can give Rachel?
Well, obesity runs in my family and mainly on the female side. It's very ironic. The males are pretty, in tune, pretty slim, but the females are mostly obese in my family, based on what we ate growing up and, just what was the inputs that was around us. So what I try to do is, I walk the path with them, so they already know that they're obese. They already know it's a challenge. They're probably depressed from it.
Hmm.
Um, I've had individuals get I forgot the name of the surgery, but the one where they staple your stomach
Right. Yeah.
didn't work a year
And
later.
most times it doesn't work.
Yeah. So, what I try to do is help them. I go shopping with them um, and show them what to pick out. I cook meals with them, just give them that experience directly so they're not on their own. I go on Sorry about that. I go on walks with them because I know we can't go for runs, right? So I walk with them. I dumb down everything that I've actuated to help them out, and they're either going to utilize it or not. Man, you can't really force it on them as well, but you got to encourage them as often as you can in as many arenas as your relationship with them, exists. So if y'all go to ball games together, if y'all go to church together, whatever it is you do together, you have to be mindful of what they're intaking, because sometimes the church is where, you get the most
Mhm. Mhm.
justification
Amen to that one. Amen to that one.
Chicken
in
dinners
terms of
after
food.
service.
Like fried chicken should not be on your plate, people. Come on now. Um, no fried anything, fried anything, body. So no matter
Well,
what.
we're not rushing you off, but if there anything else you want to share with us, because we are at our hour, sometimes we go over because there's questions still coming in. I do want to say this, and I don't know where the question, where it is in this whole long stream of questions, but I forgot someone said that we should have someone named Corey on the show, and I put the email address in there, so please email us or inbox us here so we can track him down or her down. I don't know if it's him or her.
Well, I mean,
So
it's on you, but I don't mind answering a few more questions. But
okay.
Fit Fathers is a lifestyle, vegan, plant-based, um, brand, organization. So what I try to do is, we take the medical inputs and speak it into the lingo of the people, through lifestyle references. So um, you want to extend your years, we have the capacity to live to, 100. We have to eat clean. We have to stay active. And we have to infuse the mind with things that are life enhancing. Wherever I travel, whether it's, Vietnam or Thailand, the elderly are out in the park at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
Yes,
and
yes.
they are not in wheelchairs and crutches.
No.
They are active. They're
Tai
fully,
Chi every
yeah,
morning in Japan. They are in the park. Those old women are squatting all the way down. I can't even squat like that, miss me.
yes.
They are in the park doing Tai Chi every single morning. Every morning. That
Yeah,
is so true.
yeah.
And
So
don't wait till it's hard to get down. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Don't wait till it's hard to get down because you're so much more discouraged at that time. Start trying to get down when you can get down and make that a lifestyle instead of a need to change lifestyle. You know.
yeah. So
Um,
Jacqueline, they can sign up at fitfathers.com. We have a
Tell
um,
them about what you just did for Father's Day. Please share that with them.
oh yeah.
How
So
awesome it was.
we just had our annual fundraisers called Fit Father's Day. So every year on Father's Day, we host a live fitness event. Um, and we had about 200 people come out post pandemic. Usually we have 500 to 700 people. And we also hosted it online. And we had all these dads and their families working out. We had 5 different
So
trainers,
cool.
half females, and three
Planking.
males. Huh?
Did you guys do the plank this year?
No, we didn't do the plank this
Well,
year.
one year you did a plank
Yeah,
contest, didn't you? People
yeah,
were
we did a
winning
female
money.
plank. Yeah, we did the female plank contest. I think she won like 8 minutes the last time, and we gave out $2,500 in prizes because everything we do is free to the people. So me being in media marketing, I've always utilized sponsors and federal grants, to fund Fit Fathers, so that way we can bring the resources to the people. Because once you start charging them, unfortunately, you start losing a lot of time.
losing them.
They
Yeah.
slack off. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
because they're looking at you like, oh, it's another brother trying to get over. Nah, like I'm doing this inherently because I know it works and I love my people, I love my family, and I want you to inherit, those same references so you can enjoy your life. We work hard, so why not enjoy and reap the benefits of our hard work? And that's only going to become through extended years. There's no point in getting to 50 and getting that big raise and then at 55 we're
You
gone.
did, or
Oh,
walking with a walker.
yeah. That's another thing about living till you're 100. He's talking about not just living to be 100, but actually having a quality of a life
Yes, living
until
hopefully.
you're 100.
Yes,
Yeah, that
yeah,
to
like
clarify.
I
And
want
what
to be
about
like,
the mentorship for boys, honey?
Yes.
yeah, so the mentorship, the same thing. You can find information on the website fitfathers.com. You can inbox us on Instagram or Facebook. Instagram is at fitfathers. Facebook is at fitfather. And and you'll find my personal email, because once you get to me, then I'll reach out to the individuals directly. So I think
Yeah,
that's
and make sure that you mention that you saw him on Sunday Bites, and then he'll pay extra special attention to you.
yeah, because kids, they don't listen to their parents, but they will listen to other parents. Same with my kids. I got to use their best friends' fathers to get to them, because they don't listen to me, vice versa. So that's the whole key of mentorship. And then some of these boys don't have father figures in their lives, so I become
Oh,
a father
that's
figure.
so beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks for loving me, brother.
Nice.
I'm headed to the site now. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
That's
nice, Monica.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's really nice. But you know
this
what?
has been
have to just right quick. I didn't hear you, Tara. I'm sorry. Kimatni, this has just been so amazing. Thank you so very much for sharing so much of yourself with our audience. We really, really appreciate it. I knew you were going to be an awesome guest. I don't know it took me so long to get you on the show, but you know what? Timing is everything. And
That's
so
true.
for this Sunday, it was perfect for you to be here. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, yes, this was great.
And to let you know how much I appreciate it, I want to notify that I am in Miami on a Sunday night, and I'm not worried about what's going on South Beach because I'm here with my people and I'm educating.
Oh, that's why he asked us about the East Coast, Terry. He's like, hey, I'm in Miami.
People are having fun and y'all trying to do a show?
And y'all trying to make me interview.
No, but this has been great. And you know what it does? It's like, for me too, Kimatni, is that, I eat very well. Some days I don't eat as well, but it only takes a day or two of that before I go, okay, enough of that, back on track.
Right.
And so, I got up today.
To you quickly, Terry.
My body speaks to me like that, but sometimes I'm ripping and not most times I'm always doing something. So then I get caught up in like, oh my God, I'm so tired. If I have to work out now. And then like today I got up and I said, if you don't get up now, don't say tomorrow, do it now. So I'm telling all of y'all, just get up and do it. Even if you do 10 minutes, I have a 10-minute workout. I have a 30-minute workout.
It's movement.
When I can barely do anything, I do my 10 minutes. And before I know, I'm like, yes, I finished. And then
the heart is saying
thank you. And now it motivates you to get back to putting the right foods, and not that I don't put the bad foods, but you know what I mean, to making sure that I juiced in a while. Okay, let's get back to some juicing this week. I've been doing my smoothies a lot. So really pay attention to your body, because you do not want to wake up one day and find out you can't move, find out you got something, finally got your life together, finally met that cute guy or got the great job, and now you can't do nothing. He got to push you around in a walker, and then he wants to leave you. He didn't mean to push no walker around when he met you. So I'm just saying all this to say that was just a moment
of push a walker around. That's a jack. You really jacked up when you got to push the walker around.
So I did not meet you to push a walker around. But with all that said,
or you meet a vegan chef and you can't keep up with her in a mile run, and she like, if you want this baby,
you got to come get it, right? Right? Can we rollerblade next time? Nah. So with all that said, to all of you, thank you so much. Thank you, Kimatni, and Babette. Next week we'll try to be together. Hey, Dorothy D's on.
I always miss you when I'm not with you, Tara. I just love
I know it's weird, but I couldn't drive today.
That's my dog, Tara.
Yeah. Anyway. But this was so great and motivating to some of you, to me, and I hope the same to you guys. Thank you, Kimatni, and
all you guys, don't forget about Google. You can find so many vegan recipes on Google. You Google everything else. Google vegan recipes. Whatever your favorite recipe is in the meat world, you can find it vegan. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. I'm Chef Babette.
Okay. And she has spoken. And on that note, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. One love. Bye-bye.